Hey everyone, Sam Davidson here with MEA Worldwide, and I am with Jacques Colimon, one of the stars of Netflix's The Society.
Hey!
Will is literally my favorite character though, and I told you that when I met you on the red carpet.
Vraiment, Will Leclerc.
Yes.
Well, excellent.
Yes.
You've been practicing your French
I
since
have.
we last met.
I have, so thank you. Tell me a little bit about how you landed this role.
Well, first of all, I'm flattered that you think Will is your favorite character. Oh man, it was an adventure. I mean, I think actors are always a part of the hurry up and wait game, you know, after any audition. But this was one of those instances where I went in with a pair of sides that were vaguely similar to the show. But they, you know, kept a lot of the secrets of the show and things like that. So it was more the essence of the connection between Will and Allie that I was dealing with in the first round. And, you know, I was just kind of like, I'm going to give this a very honest, open take. And then if they want to see any redirects, we'll see where it goes. And then I got really attached to the project when I started hearing about the political implications of what they were trying to communicate with the show and like how they were, Chris and Mark were interested in kind of shifting the dialogue of YA towards these more, I guess broad but like heavier topics, you know.
Yeah.
So when I went in for a callback, there was a little bit of those nerves and that like initial pressure of like, oh man, am I gonna be 100 with this? Am I gonna like really deliver this in the way that they want to see it? And so to get myself out of my head, I was just like, I'm gonna make this a rehearsal. You know, which is what we do. You know, that's been my approach with a lot of auditions and things. It's just like, I'm gonna do another rehearsal. I'm just going in to get more familiar with the material until we shoot it. You know.
What were those political implications that they even told you during the audition process that really got you fascinated?
You know, I think it's in Will's bio. You know, like it talks about how he's a foster kid that's been in and out of foster homes. Has had to be relatively chameleon in his approach to all the group dynamic, and you know, he's the one character whose natural disadvantages, you know, kind of disappear as he's thrust into this whole new world, and he sees the possibility in it. And I think among like young black kids, if we could leave our circumstance and like find a new world, so to speak, in the way that's not Columbus's new world,
Right.
You know, like my money knew like some 1492, you know what I'm saying? Like if we could go out and then find that new place, I think there's a chance to meet that with a lot of possibility. And Will's definitely one of those archetypes that like, it's like, oh, well, if we're in this new place and, you know, I don't have to go back to my foster parents. I don't have to go back to that home. It's literally disappeared. So we can build a new form of self-governance. We can like figure out how to live cooperatively as a group.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, like that kind of I guess to bring it back to like French philosophy, you know, government should represent the best parts of ourselves. And I think Will is somebody that recognizes that.
One of the things I loved about your character specifically, though, is because in some sense, and I don't want to say you were a jerk because you weren't, but you know, you had two different women or girls turning into women, right?
Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And you're kind of juggling that, but we still love you by the end of it. You know, was that something that you could either relate to or something that you found kind of hard to still being portrayed as this good guy while you were kind of playing both fields there?
Oh yeah, because he's a boy. He's still a boy. You know, and I think there's a boyish maturity that or immaturity that he kind of grows out of over those 10 episodes. You know, and I also think that I know as a teenager I tended to fall in love with the image of a person. You know, because I think it's fair to say that like that's how a lot of us kind of roll in high school, and some people never grow out of that. Even like this idea of a person becomes this beautiful thing, and we herald that, and we like idolize that, and then, you know, sometimes that happens without ever meeting the person. And in this new world, Will is confronted with meeting the person that he had a total, like, head over heels crush up for, you know? And I think he sort of explores it and is like, yo, I really like this person, you know, I want to see where it goes. And we've all been in that position. But then as things start to unfold, he starts to see this real friendship that he's always had, that's always been right there. And there's something really beautiful about acknowledging that and then also exploring that further and seeing what kind of potential is in there. But sometimes it comes at the detriment of things that you were also exploring at the time.
Did the creators, showrunners, like, clue you guys in at all to the big secret of what was really going on this show? Because, you know, the last episode, we still don't know. Spoiler alert, everyone. Tune out this second if you do not want to know any more. But yeah. We know that the parents are alive and they think all of you guys are dead. So is that all that you know? Or because when I interviewed the showrunner as well at the premiere, I said, you guys obviously have a bigger idea here. You know where they are, what's happening. And he said, yes, of course. Do you know?
Well, they've got a bit of an aerial view that even we don't have. Mm-hmm. That's the cool thing that has kind of been a part of this process for us as a ensemble cast too, is that, like, we're kind of on the same journey as the fans are, you know, like they've given us little, like, hints and pieces here and there, but never enough for us to really decipher what the rules of this universe are and, like, what the kind of back and forth is, if there is any, and, like, who the dog is and where the dog comes from.
Who's the bus driver?
Oh, yeah. Are the dog and the bus driver the same person? It's an idea I was tossing around in my head. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. And I wish I knew. But, like, we'd have to have the season 2 to find out.
I think we will. Well, I can't wait. Just last thing is, tell me a little bit about your other projects. I know you're also a musician.
Yes.
Like, what else do you have going on?
Yeah. Well, I am making all kinds of stuff. I've been making music for forever, but especially within, like, the past 2.5 years, I made, like, 100 scratch tracks of songs, and I've condensed that to about 18. And I've been in the studio with my dear friend, Aaron Childs. And his dad's Billy Childs. He's this Grammy-winning pianist and everything. And so we've been cutting it up in the studio, and I've got stuff that's, like, you know, one part rap, one part jazz, one part folk, one part acoustic, you know, and, like, we're just trying to, like, make some new. And so I've been busy at that. I'm actually going back in the studio on Saturday.
Awesome.
To work on that some more. And then I just had a writer friend of mine write a horror feature length on spec, and I'm really happy with the first draft. I was talking about it with a couple directors. Point being, like, I'm just going gangbusters on music, on film, on TV, and, like, I'm interested in, like, all the projects that people have to offer, and I'm observing everything and just kind of, like, deciphering next moves. I got a couple things that I can't talk about that are on the schedule. Okay. They're on the agenda, and they're gonna blow everybody's mind, especially in the way that I could see this continuing the conversation of the society and the story that we've kind of started here. So I'm really excited about those things that are happening, but mom's the word right now.
All right. I can't wait to figure out what it is, and for season 2, all of that. I have high hopes, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thanks for an amazing performance on one of my new favorite shows.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
You are very welcome. Cheers.
Appreciate you.
Guys, tune in to The Society on Netflix. All 10 episodes of the first season are currently streaming. It's an amazing show, and thank you for joining us.
Check it out, yo.
Bye.
Thank you.